No.
No?
They have their second open suites event next Wednesday from 4 to 6 p.m.
We're live.
for long-term stay options.
Oh my God, things are falling apart. Hold on. You know what I don't like?
And you know what I don't like is whenever they don't BCC it, but now I have all the realtors' contact information.
Oh my God, send me that.
Sure will.
That is amazing.
I'm going to keep this.
We're live.
Oh.
We're live.
Tight.
That's cool.
I'm sending this to you right now.
Okay. I don't know. Are we live?
It says live in the upper left-hand corner.
This is a fun game.
This is
week.
your podcast.
I don't really feel like it is. I don't think it is. Are we here? We're here. Can we go bigger with this? Yeah, we can. No, we can't.
I cannot.
Yeah, we can't. That's it.
Oh, yeah. No, we're live.
Oh, yeah. No. This is riveting information. I can't see anybody on there.
I can't either. It's obvious that it needs time for people to join.
It's obviously nobody's watching.
Wow.
Literally, people were texting me about when the podcast was going to happen, and here we are.
Probably because we were 45 seconds late.
Probably. You were in the bathroom.
I was in the bathroom.
You were in the bathroom.
I had to go to the bathroom.
You should have go.
Are you putting it more in my face?
Maybe.
That's so rude. That's so inconsiderate. Oh, thank you.
Just right there. That's good. Hello. Is it? It's fake. It's not even. It's not even
with the delicious dish.
Delicious. You know why? Because I'm getting messed up because it's backwards.
Look, you have a viewer.
Hey, viewer. Who's there? Should we do a poll question?
Sure.
What should we ask? What
is authenticity?
What is? And how do you spell it?
T-I-C-I-T-Y.
Oh, we have to give them options. Do we have to give them options? That's dumb. All right. Well, we're just gonna start because here we are. It's every Tuesday morning with the podcast. It's a good. Hi, Jill. I love Jill. Do you know Jill?
Mm-mm.
She's so good. She's
Hi,
good
Jill.
People. Every Tuesday morning, Facebook is just like, no, ma'am. Like, oh, you want to do a podcast? Not today.
Yeah.
Not today. They're like, what you could go live on before, you can't. Should I look at you or here?
I think you have to fake the. So you have to fake the angle. Yeah. So
I don't have it good.
Like
my hair is real big today too. They're like, no, you can't.
Is that big hair for you?
Yeah. I have 5 strands on my entire head, as Doris will tell me.
We need to get you some volumizing cactus shampoo.
I shared on
That's
my
what
first
I use.
on my first podcast that sometimes I will powder my part.
Yeah.
Because my hair is so dark and my scalp is so white. Hi Ryan, good morning.
I have some volumizing stuff.
Look at that.
Oh, that's it.
That's good. I said I looked a little Cruella DeVille vibe this morning. I don't care.
If you do your hair that way, then it's kind of like in a 90s movie where people are like, that girl's not hot. And then she gets just kind of takes off her glasses and
yes,
the overalls fall off and the hair is good again.
What movie was that?
And all of them. And then it's all of them.
Every movie.
It's all of them. And it's all with Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Oh, I love her.
I know.
I do like her.
I feel authentic.
Yeah, I do too. We were having a conversation off camera that we'll bring to on camera because we had some interesting things. Good morning, Tara. So I have to do my Happy Agent podcast intro, and every week Dante kind of changes it. So it's fun to see what he's going to say this week. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Happy Agent podcast, the show for real estate pros who want more freedom, more flow, and more success without selling their soul. Are you interpretive dancing?
I am. Yeah.
I'm your host, Courtney Benson, a top 1% agent. That sounds so douchey every time.
Yeah, but it's true. So who cares?
True. Top 1% from the Wall Street Journal. That's kind of a flex, and I'm proud of it. I am a TikTok educator. This is new. Coach and comeback queen. What kind of comeback, though? Because I can pop off some comebacks real quick. Around here, we keep it real. We talk mindset, marketing, manifestation, sometimes, and the magic that happens when you stop forcing and start attracting. I almost read attacking.
Well, it's both.
There's
when you stop forcing and start attacking.
Well,
this is the real world.
This is the real podcast. I forgot. When you're ready to ditch hustle culture, build a business that actually feels good, you're in the right place. So let's get to it. Cue music. I think that's copyrighted.
Oh shoot.
God,
my bad.
She's already started off.
My bad. Wrong. Sorry, guys.
So this morning we're talking about authenticity with Lacey Brucci. You look uncomfortable. Would you like a pillow? Oh, you do have a pillow.
I have a pillow. Thank you for asking me.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm really considerate. That's good.
With Lacey Brucci.
With Lacey Brucci.
Yeah.
Lacey Brucci. Do people know who you are?
Maybe.
I don't know. Do you guys know who Lacey is?
If you don't, my name is Lacey Brucci. I'm a real estate agent as well. I focus mainly in Dallas and in Fort Worth. And Courtney and I have been friends for about 2 years. We're new besties. But I also know that this is going to be like a really good working relationship, like for a long time. So that's really nice. And I am pretty big on TikTok. You can find me over there pretty easily, though I am still trying to change my handle.
I know, it still says Compost.
I know, it won't let me change it. But yeah, I focus mainly on...
Robert Reffkin will not let you go.
He won't. He loves me too much. It makes
Dang
sense. Which is funny because I'm like, I've already left.
It's hard to leave Compass. I think they call that a cult when it's hard to leave. Like
that's one of the things.
Easy to get in, hard to leave.
Yeah. That's
cult,
one of the things.
Marriage.
Sure.
All the same. Because I was still messing with them up until last week.
Yeah.
And I left in November. Mm-hmm. But all good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No haterade.
Don't sue us.
No haterade. We got no.
Please don't sue us.
They got bigger clear cooperation things.
Ooh, happening. They're working on clear co-op.
They're working on the clear co-op and everybody's nerves at this point. So we're going to talk about authenticity, because I love trigger words in real estate. Like everyone knows, my favorite thing that I hate on is know your worth. The phrase know your worth. And Gabe and I were discussing this last night because we took our daughter to the art thing because she's a super talented artist and she got some big award from McKinney ISD.
When you say art thing, what does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
Like she had a medal. Oh my God. She won something with McKinney ISD, and she's a very talented artist, and she draws and acts and the whole thing. And so like the whole school district was there, like the superintendent, like all the principals, like everyone was there. And so they were like rotating the room in and out. So Finley gets up to go, and I'm sitting in the front row because I snaked a seat that had a purse on it. And I was like, does your purse need its own chair? And the lady was like, and I was like, I didn't think so either.
Well done.
And then I put my purse on the chair. No, I'm just kidding.
And I put my purse in her lap.
Yeah. I was like, and hold that too.
And that was my aggressive way of saying.
And it's the purse that says, this is not a Birkin, which we got the other day when we were down in Bishop Arts. So Gabe's standing in the back. So the kids come in and they like call her name, and then they were like, okay, now the teachers of these kids stand up. And then they're like, now the parents. And there were people standing in the back, and nobody else stood up. So I stood up and I started waving like this. And Finley's like, good mom.
Like and Princess Di.
I did. I was like this.
That's great.
Thank you. That one's mine.
Yeah.
Yes. So I don't know where we were going with that.
Isn't it elbow, wrist, like elbow, wrist. Yeah.
So anyway, so we went to that, and then, then she was being a 15-year-old girl in the car on the way home. And so we were like, love you, sis, go upstairs. And then Gabe and I got in the car, and sometimes we have to do like a decompression drive.
Oh, sure.
Like we just can't go back in the house. So we just do a drive. So we always drive by the Dean's house because Kim and Derek live one neighborhood away.
Oh, sure.
And then we film videos in front of their house with their house in the background, like just saying stuff. And so like yesterday I was filming Gabe, and Gabe was looking out the window shouting at Kim and Derek's house, Derek, it's me, Gabe. It's me. And so
I've loved you from afar.
I loved you. And then he didn't come out. So we sent the video, and then Derek comes downstairs, and he was like, oh my God. He's always just like, I could hear you upstairs. I thought it was my kid. And we're like, no, it's us.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I came down 3 flights of stairs. And we're like, that's cool. And we're like, hey, we're going to go get ice cream. Do you want to go?
That's great.
Like we rode up on our bikes. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I can't, I'm working. And we're like, us too, but we don't care.
Yeah.
Like, and so.
Take an ice cream break.
Take an ice cream break, dude. Take a beat. And so it was, then we let, and he was just kind of like, oh, I have so much to do. And then I said, isn't it funny? Like, I don't even know. It was like 7 o'clock last night. And it was the same thing. Like, I still had a whole day of work left to do, and I just wasn't home. And it's like we just do this to ourselves. And would the world really stop if we stopped for a minute? I know Ryan talks about this a lot. Like, I think it's a story we often tell ourselves about just working, working, working. So that is, again, why I created the podcast, why I created the community, because I struggle with it so bad. I am the worst offender of not being a happy agent.
Sure.
And I am right now on the path of the not being a happy agent. So one of the things that I do love about the business that I've created, and the business that you've created too, is showing up on camera, being authentic, just throwing shit out there, seeing what sticks. We're 10 minutes in, I'm not just going to do anything. Just being yourself in whatever capacity that is, and seeing a flow of business come. Like,
yeah,
our business is hard. We do make it harder than it probably needs to be, but it is difficult. It is lonely. There's a whole lot of us. And to really make a living, you have to find a different way.
Yeah.
You have to find a way that works for you. And so this is something that has worked for both of us. But then the gaslighting of, I do classes, we talk, and people are like, well, you have to be authentic. If you're going to show up on video, you have to be authentic. And then I'm like, what the hell's authentic?
Yeah, what does that mean?
I don't know what authentic means. What do you guys think authentic means? If the 4 people who are watching currently, hey mom, can drop it in the comments. I want to know what your definition of authenticity is.
Your mom doesn't know how to use Facebook.
I know, she's like,
that's authentic.
I know, she wanted to be on here. That's probably her right there. She wanted to be on here.
She's the 5th viewer.
5th viewer. Nobody knows where the podcast is. Like a secret podcast. It's like a speakeasy. Like, you have to know what door to go to,
sure,
how to knock, and what the password is to get into the podcast.
Okay, I get it.
People think I do it on accident. I don't.
I just think, like, I feel like I was inauthentic, or aka like not true to myself, until I was probably, I don't know, like 14. Like it wasn't very long.
Why?
Because like I wanted to fit in so badly, right? But I was 14 years old. And so I was probably inauthentic until I was 14 or 15. And then, thank you, Gabe, very polite. And then
we're all impressed, Gabe.
And then when I was, I think maybe 24 or 25, I just kind of stopped caring if people didn't like who I actually was.
But when you stopped caring, now, which I didn't get there probably till I was 40, but you didn't have, it wasn't connected to your bank account. I think that's the biggest fear, is when you stop caring what people think. So much as we're adults, like, it is connected to our bank account. So do we have to care what people think? Maybe.
I mean, I think in the wide world of real estate, I think people work with who they want to work with and who they feel a connection with.
Yeah.
So if you're being yourself and if you're being authentic when you're on camera and you're just kind of talking to people as though it's just a person and not a camera.
Yeah.
I think whenever you're doing that, you are having an authentic conversation with tens of thousands of people who don't really know you yet, but they feel like they know you. And all of a sudden, like I don't really work with jerks. I get this like fantastic thing where all my referrals now aren't jerks. But
I've had some doozies, not lately, but I've had.
But I mean, like, but they go between like 250 to $1 million, and like, if we like each other, we usually do, and then like, if we don't, that's okay.
I feel like a man spreading on the couch, and you're like, sorry.
This is how I sit.
Oh, you're very delicate.
I know.
I'm over here like, yeah. Lacey's got like.
Yeah, I took my cotillion seriously.
Yeah, you did.
Obviously.
Oh, I thought it's because you're holding your Celsius.
Well, and I'm wearing linen.
Oh. Amazon military.
I am
pants.
wearing linen.
You're wearing linen.
Don't mean to brag. But I mean, I just feel like you're talking to a friend, like whenever you're talking to all of these people. And so now they're going to reach out because they like you. Yeah. People won't reach out if they don't like me, and that's okay. That's
true. So I thought we were starting to have a very interesting conversation when you got back from the bathroom and prior to figuring out how to go live.
What did I say?
Hold on. It was, I wrote it down. authentic versus unfiltered. And I think that's so good because like Jill and everyone's commenting that the real you is a non-performative, hi, that's how she found me on TikTok, a non-performative version of you that you're just showing up and you're being the real you. But I think there's another version that also converts really well, which is being unfiltered. And I think a lot of times I'm not necessarily, I'm authentic, but my authenticity is unfiltered. And it isn't till I started getting a lot of followers that that unfiltered version of me has maybe tapered a bit.
Okay.
And I hate that.
Why do you feel like you did that? Or is that a conscious choice?
It was a conscious, well, it was not necessarily a conscious choice. It was, I started feeling the pressure of like the comments and the, not even negative comments necessarily, but just, I started being very aware of people watching me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, just stop.
Oh, check.
Anyway,
okay.
I fixed it.
Okay. Oh, we're good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week. We're done.
Because remember too, like people think about themselves
All the
so
time.
much. Like, yeah, they're watching you, but they're not even really thinking about like who you are. They're just like
I wanted to read.
they're just thinking about themselves. Like 90%
They do,
of the
and
time.
people think about how you can help them.
Right.
So I wanted to read. So Dante, if you guys will soon meet my AI assistant Dante. He's amazing. So we were talking about the difference between authenticity and unfiltered. So authentic is true to you. So being authentic means showing up as your real self, your values, your vibe, your voice, even if it's polished or strategic. Unfiltered, no edits. Being unfiltered means you say whatever is on your mind with little to no filter, raw, real, sometimes messy. One is intentional, one is instant. Both build trust. Both can convert, but I think you can't be just unfiltered and unhinged all the time, especially with what we do.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
kind of sometimes
there
vacillate
needs to be
between
there
the
needs
two.
to be a layer of professionalism.
What do you think is the unfiltered is probably the most scary for people, but I don't think we've talked like we just talk about authenticity but so much like sometimes you'll make comments that are maybe well no I think you're not unfiltered, but I think you think about stuff you say I think way more than I do.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah, I do. I am just like I just kind of pop off with stuff. Like you think about it. I don't. Which is probably why you do better on social media than I do.
It's honestly, it's more because I curse a lot in my just like random language. Like I drop the F-bomb a lot. I say.
But you don't on video.
No, I don't,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
I
that's
know that it
intentional.
won't be like I know it won't be circulated. So, and I've found that
Is
it's
that what my problem is?
maybe.
Oh, sure.
And I also know that like I wish I could be more funny whenever I'm explaining things because I'm a very funny
You're a
person.
very funny person.
But like
Kim Dean
my
does that too. She's very funny in
Yeah.
person, but not online.
yeah, my TikToks are not funny.
Why?
People like I don't know. I think it's just because like whenever I'm talking about something, I get really passionate and there's no real like humor there. But like I'm fun. I had to be funny. I was ugly until I was like 19 years old.
I was fat.
Yeah, you were fat. I was ugly.
fat.
Like-
So I like my comebacks are real good.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Oh, I'm really. I actually have to stop myself. I'm like
Why?
Because I can be super mean. Like I will make.
if Julie
I will
Provenzano
make
can
you
do
cry.
it, you can do it.
I love her. Do you guys follow Julie Provenzano?
You guys should
out of
follow
Dallas?
Julie Provenzano. She's great.
She's with Compass. So when the three of us were all with Compass, we have a group text, and it was funny how it all started. But
Yeah.
she's phenomenal. So. So maybe with one of the suggestions is as you're discovering your authenticity, maybe do a video that's unfiltered.
Okay, sure.
Like just like okay, so let's say if you were to do a video that's unfiltered, what would you talk about?
Honestly, the ones that I've done that have been unfiltered have gotten a lot of views.
Yeah.
One of my
Like
one of the
what's your-
favorite ones that I did was maybe 2 years ago, and it was called what was it? I was essentially walking through homes, making fun of the home based off of the listing photos.
Okay.
And so it would
I think I
be,
remember that.
I would be like, oh wow, this listing photo shows hardwood floors. It says in the listing description that it's hardwood floors. And you walk in, it's not even LVP, it's just shitty vinyl. And and like where you can even see like it's like this square by this
I
square.
don't think realtors know what real hardwood floors are.
That
was mine. I've got real hardwood floors, but everyone calls them hardwood floors. They're not.
Like it might as well have been linoleum. Is like how I felt about this.
Okay, so you got a lot of views, but were you worried that the listing agent was going to come for you or the seller?
No, because I never mentioned the address of the home. I never mentioned the agent. I just walked in and talked about it. Mm-hmm. I never once like put them on blast because I don't want to be rude. But also, whenever we're talking, I didn't get a whole lot of like people picking up the phone and calling me from that video. I got a lot of follows from that video, but I don't really care about follows.
Yeah,
I care if people are picking up the phone.
The follower count doesn't seem to matter.
No,
it really doesn't. But it's a little ego boost
for sure.
I cannot get to 45,000 to save my freaking ass life. Like I'm like, what do I do? So we'll talk
piss
about
people
that.
Off.
We'll talk. Yes. But then sometimes it depends on what area I am in my life, that sometimes I just piss people off a lot and I'm cool. Like I can take it, but then sometimes it becomes overwhelming. I have a lot of business right now. So I'm choosing my energy on that instead of navigating the pissing people off.
I get that.
But I'll get back to it, y'all. Selling season's coming to an end here for a little bit.
But also like, why worry about if you're going to piss somebody off on the internet or not? Because like bad comments are still comments. And so that drives up the algorithm better.
No, and I'm pretty good with it. I do not get my feelings hurt.
Yeah.
Hardly at all.
Yeah, you were fat.
I really don't. I was fat.
You were fat. I was ugly.
The one person that made fun of my eyebrows, I still think about to this day.
They got you on that though.
They got me. They got me on that.
They got you good.
Off. So I have a note board over here, which I spilled an entire Route 44 cup of water on prior to Lacey walking in. So it's like drippy, but it's fine. So that's why I keep looking over here, because my ADD board allows me to not remember what I say. Authentic.
Would you mind if we answered Tiffany's question?
Oh gosh, I didn't know there was one.
Because I think we're going to switch into a different.
Okay, what kind of content do you feel does better to make people call versus just follow? Go ahead.
Sure. So,
I got this.
Hey. So, what I'll notice is that if I have maybe like 1,000 views or 2,000 views, I call that like 1,000 view jail. And it's because I'm not
People
talking.
Are like, I wish I had 1,000 views.
I know. And so it's because I'm not talking about things that get people like riled up. So if you ever follow me on TikTok, you'll see that sometimes I'll post about politics and how that affects the real estate market. Sometimes I'll post a story and ask for comments and whether or not I was a jerk or not. I think there's a video that I have.
You ask if you're a jerk?
Yeah, there's a video that I have right now that's doing very well that's called Was I the A-hole?
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
And so I gave a story about and asking whether or not I was an asshole and was very clear that I was like very open to people telling me if I was the asshole or not. Like, no big deal. I mess up sometimes. I just want to know. And because of that, or because if I say anything about Trump or Kamala or whatever, it doesn't matter what side I'm on. It just matters that like people hear that and all of a sudden they get really fired up to be in the comment section and to share it. And so I'll work with that in order to get views. Like I'll tell stories or I'll talk politics and it'll boost my views again and it'll boost my follows. If I want people to call me, I will tailor my videos to be in the area that I want people to call me about. So I did a video on the difference between like Argyle and Northlake. I got a client for Argyle like 3 days later.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I love it.
That's far from you.
I mean, we're gonna sell it.
I know.
Like 900.
You're all over the place.
Yeah.
That's like your Fort Worth area too. Is like
I
your
love
area.
Fort Worth.
I know you do.
I love Fort Worth. If I hadn't gone to school in Dallas, I think I would actually live there.
Really?
Yeah. All my friends live here. So I'll do that for views, and then in order to get phone calls, I'll talk about something that's like much more in depth. So what your buyer's agent should be doing for you that they probably aren't doing. That's a hook that I really want to listen to. What are 3 things that you should know about buying a home in Plano? Like, what are 5 things that can save you $30,000 whenever buying a home in Rockwall? And we kind of like list them out, and then it shows value. So when you're showing value, I think that's when you get phone calls. When you're just there to kind of get the comments, that's where you get the comments and the views and the likes. But I need the comments and the views and the likes kind of up here in order to boost my algorithm for whenever I want people to call me.
Okay. That was good.
Thank you.
Now I got to follow that.
Spiel.
What are mine? Mine, when I'm tough about something, when I'm tough for my
People like that.
clients, and I share a story about being tough and how I've negotiated through things or done, people tend to like that. Um, I'm like trying to sell a house right now. Hold on, sorry, my phone's ringing. Those I get calls from those. Like I did when I did a video about um, somebody knocking on my client's door while he was home after I told her she couldn't show it.
Pisses me
And
off.
it pisses me off. And then like
It's
I got
so
a bunch
rude.
of calls from that. But a lot of my leads come from agents around the country.
Yeah.
But I do talk to buyers and sellers directly. I talk to agents directly. I updated the board before you got here. So I updated my active buyer board. 1, 2, 3, 4.
My wife won't let me have things like that in the house. It's just a whiteboard, by the way. It's just a whiteboard. She doesn't like that.
So out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
We have 9 active buyers, and 7 of them are from TikTok.
Yep.
Possibly 8. She didn't name TikTok, but you know when people find you on video because they reference things in your life.
Yeah.
And you're like, how'd you know that?
Stop stalking me.
Stop stalking me.
Ooh, attention. I hate it.
Yeah, I hate it. Do it again. But I think for me, because I do talk to agents and I talk about our industry, and that's actually how I started getting followers, was talking about our industry in my ADD manner of talking about it. And that I just, sometimes I'll say something and I'll look at Gabe and I was like, should I not have said that? And he's like, no, that's you. But I do think people filter themselves a lot.
Yeah.
I don't filter myself a whole lot because I'm very confident in my words and myself. So if something came back to me from what I said, which my intentions are never to hurt somebody, but if whatever somebody's reaction is to what I said, I'm confident in my response and my position.
Totally.
Which I think is huge with being authentic. Hi, Kim. I invited Kim over this morning, but she's busy.
Oh, she didn't want to hang out?
Busy.
It's probably a bot then, don't you think?
It is a bot,
Yeah.
100%.
Bot Kim.
So what are some red flags? How do you know you're not being authentic? Because I think people do show up and they're like, well, I'm being authentic. And then you know them in real life and you're like, not really. You're being a filtered version of yourself, which people can feel. If you have any sort of filter to how you show up and how you speak, people can feel it. My biggest one is anytime I have tried to plan out what I say or read something, I can't. Like,
same. I don't do it very well.
No. Even when I get up and speak in front of rooms, it's all like a lot of it's off the cuff. I have something guiding me, but most of it's off the cuff. So when I come up with a video, I just have a general concept, and then literally whatever comes out of my mouth comes out of my mouth.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. When you waver on your values, yeah, that's 100%. You can't waver on your values if you're being authentic.
I think it's more too about like how you act and interact with someone who you want to impress on like a first date versus how you interact and hang out with them a year into a relationship is very different. And so I think in order to get to true authenticity is that 1 year mark, how you talk and how you feel and how you present yourself at that 1 year mark, which is with comfort and confidence, as opposed to the first meeting, which is a little shaky, a little nervous, a little testy. And I think as long as you're doing a video pretty consistently, you'll get to that point where it feels like you're talking to friends, and you can film it in 15 minutes. You know what I mean? All my stuff is done in 15 minutes.
Yeah, mine is too. I'm usually pretty much a one take.
Yeah.
One take and I'm done. I think if you're filming and then you're going back and you're re-editing, then it's not going to be authentic. But if you're mimicking people, like if you are following people and you're like, oh, well, they're doing really well, so I'm going to try to take the same cadence and tone and visuals and that kind of thing, that's not going to be authentic to you.
No. And again, maybe it's good to hop on a trend, but it's not good to get a phone call. Like
No,
I would never want to do. There's a great gal whose name escapes me. She's in is it Utah? Where she's also with Real. She's blonde and probably like
Page, real estate page.
is that it? She bends down like this and talks about.
Oh no, that's a different one.
She talks about like
and she whispers.
Yeah, she whispers. Talks about the houses in a very like demeaning, like demeaning to yourself way.
She's so funny,
hilarious. But like I've seen other people try to do it, and it doesn't land.
No, it doesn't land, and then you look ridiculous.
Yeah, like I think you just have to. You have to be you. You have to talk about things that you know about, so that you can come across as the expert. Right.
And that's a good point too, because you talk about things I don't talk about. Like we have very different content.
Sure, I agree.
But that's how our brains work. Like a lot of times I'll do if I have to do any sort of technical call, Lacey will actually just be on the phone.
Yeah.
With me, she's like my brain for stuff, because she's very techie. So I'll have her listen and then regurgitate it back to me. Like if Gabe's not available, Lacey's my stand-in brain. Because that's not me. I don't excel in that area. So like you're really good. You look at like statistics and you do like, you're very technical with stuff. And then when I talk about things, I'm much more geared toward emotion and aesthetic and that kind of thing. And I'm very good at managing that with people.
Yes.
I'm good. Like that is my strong suit. So a lot of my content is based on that, because that's what I know and that's what I'm good at. So we definitely do very different things. We also attract very different clients.
Yeah, completely.
So, and I think that's interesting. One day I wanted to take one of your videos and take what you said and almost regurgitate it word for word. And I just want to see what would happen.
Yeah.
Because you're like the SEO queen. Lacey like weaves words into her videos that pick up SEO and stuff. And then by the time I'm done, I'm like, oh shit, right. I'm a realtor, guys, in Dallas. Like,
I should have said Craig Ranch McKinney Real Estate.
Yeah, just
Corey Benson Realtor.
You know what's funny? You said Craig Ranch, and I'm doing a deal with Missy Craig. Hi, Missy, if you're watching. That's her family.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're closing. Gabe's at the closing right now.
Get it, Missy Craig. That's
get
awesome.
It, Missy Craig. She's texting me right now.
Do we like her?
We do like her.
Good job, Missy.
We do like her.
She's on the short list.
She's been great to work with. I appreciate her. What else? So some other red flags. So mimicking other people's style. Like Tara said, if you are pulling away from your values that you have. Also giving content with no opinion. Like just, you're basically reading a news story and you've got no opinion. Give your freaking opinion. Yep. Like I say this all the time, like, because I'd heard it. If people like tea, they like cold tea and they like hot tea. Mm-hmm. Nobody likes warm tea except for Derek Dean, which is gross. He shared with me like warm tea, and I was like, get out of here with your shit.
Can't believe you're friends.
I know we're not.
Ugh, thank God. Don't that did not make the short list.
Did not. That was him. He just logged off.
Yeah. And Kim.
No, Kim's like, yeah. You have to pick a side and be true to what you're picking, because it's not that you're being divisive, but you're creating your tribe. You're creating your group of people who are going to rally behind you. Like I think I've done a very good job at being myself, saying what I believe, standing up for things that I don't agree with, and creating a group of people who they support me, they rally. Somebody was on a Facebook page the other day looking for a realtor in Dallas Fort Worth, and this guy commented, and he was like, tagged me, and he's like, Courtney Benson, he's like, I'm a good realtor, but when she talks I take notes. And I was like, stop it.
Really
did I screenshot it? Yes. Is it my cover photo? Yes. But we've been
am I gonna like collate it to go across my header on LinkedIn?
Yes, I will. Yes, I will. And I like that, but I think that speaks to being myself and sharing. And I do think I'm a good realtor. So I believe that wholeheartedly. Whatever our delusion is that we fully believe is true. Well, and I truly believe I'm a good realtor.
I think that goes back to what you were saying earlier about, hey, I may be a little off the cuff, but I know what I'm talking about, and I'm always going to back up what I'm talking about with facts.
But yes.
Like that. So I believe it. I know it. I'm a good agent.
Enough to throw some shit out there and be like, oh,
right.
I was wrong.
Right.
You know, because I'm never wrong. That's my ego.
Never been wrong.
Hey, that's my ego.
Yeah.
How are you? Hey, that's.
And I'm like, oh, I'm wrong all the time.
Yeah. I am never wrong. I'm totally wrong.
I'm wrong consistently.
I will tell you, but if you say something wrong or you're a little like kind of vacillate on it, if you say it with authority, literally no one questions you. Now it could be that I'm 6 feet tall and people are like, not.
No, they do the same thing to me, and I'm 5'5".
They don't question you, right? They're just like,
wow,
okay, valid. Yeah,
look at that.
I hear you.
It's about faking it till you make it with the. It's kind of speaking with your chest.
Fake it after you make it.
Yeah, which I like.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Do you guys? Don't you think like just speaking firm and knowing what you're saying, it really conveys. What else do I trusting yourself? I think that we talked about it a little bit too, but it's hard to be authentic if you don't trust yourself. So really trusting who you are and what you're saying and sharing is huge with authenticity. Tara wants a class on what do you want a class on with Lacey?
Oh, she wants a class on how to speak in SEO terms.
Oh yeah, no, we've talked about that. Yeah, that'll happen. Not like in jest. No, that will happen. Okay.
No,
so,
we're gonna do it.
No, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Look, could we look any more opposite?
I have glasses on.
I know, but look at no, I'm just saying our coloring.
Oh
our hair. Yeah.
Yeah, God gave me the red skin.
They called me a redskin, but not for the same reason.
Wow, racist against your own people.
I know, right?
I'm Italian.
Fine.
This is the only part of me that's Italian, is that whenever I drink too much caffeine.
Your ears
Yeah,
get
do you
red?
see how red this ear is in compared to this ear?
You have a one ear problem?
Yeah, it's always the left one. That and beer.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Are there any subjects we should just racism?
Which I feel strongly about.
I
don't talk about religion. I don't I think actually speaking of racism, I got in trouble once because I was talking about Highland Park, and it was maybe 6 months after the big Black Lives Matter movement, and a woman commented and she said that I should have mentioned that it was a sundown town. And
that was a sundown town.
A sundown town is during the Jim Crow laws. Way back
I went to UNLV, you went to SMU. That's the difference.
Oh no, it's because I grew up in South Carolina,
oh, okay,
so we learned a lot about the Civil Rights Act. So when the Civil Rights Act was occurring, there was Jim Crow, and during Jim Crow, there were certain towns where if you were a person of color, you absolutely could not be there after the time the sun went down.
Got it.
And it wasn't just because the town didn't like black people, it was because it was law that you were not allowed to be there. So that's where there was a green book that was handed out to people that was about traveling while black. And it talked about where you could stay at night and what hotels were good to you and how to kind of make sure that you were there at the right time and what your path needed to look like. So when I was told that it was a sundown town, I said, I know, but I didn't think as the whitest person who's the white, you know what I mean? Look at me. I'm just the whitest person in town. And I told her, I was I just didn't think that it was fair for me to share that story. I see now, because I had a bunch of comments in there that were no, you really should have said that. And I was okay, cool. I didn't know, because I was talking about the history of Highland Park.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about houses in Highland Park. I was talking about history. And they're no, you should have mentioned it. I understand where you're coming from. But in times like these, we would have appreciated you, telling that.
So will you remake the video and tell that?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. But that was me trying to do the right thing. And again, being open to being wrong. Someone called me out on it, and I said, hey, I didn't realize that was something that I should have said. I thought I was making the right choice. I apologize.
But do you think then you filtered yourself at that moment? Do you think it would have been, because that would have been a story that you would have told, you're telling me, you're telling everybody.
Yeah.
So it would be authentic for you to tell it. But then did you overthink it, worrying that you were going to offend people?
It wasn't even about being offensive. I just, as a white person, I didn't think that was my story to tell.
Okay.
And so I wanted to allow other, people who are perhaps more apt at that story,
right,
whose real history that really affected them, they should be the ones to tell it. But if they aren't telling it, then it is up to me in order to say something about it,
Yeah.
is what I learned from that interaction.
Okay. I'd love to see you remake that video.
Okay, I will.
And do that. But and that's the thing though, you never, when I filter myself because I'm worried that I'm going to offend somebody or say something, it comes out clunky.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't but I also don't talk a lot about history because I'm not.
Sure.
I'm not you're a history buff. I'm not a history buff. Yeah, I don't talk about religion either. Definitely not. But that's pretty much it. I mean, we pretty much dabble. We dabble on all the things.
In my sorority, we were taught to not talk about the 3 B's, which are boys, Bibles, and bucks.
Those bucks.
Dollars.
Oh, Dallas.
Dollars.
You went to SMU. They talk a whole lot about bucks.
I know, that's why we're not supposed to talk about it.
There's a whole TikTok page dedicated to SMU bucks.
SMU talk?
Yeah.
Good for them.
It's pretty good. I like it. All right, what else are we going to talk about? So I think one thing too that will help people is when you're creating content that is authentic, is talking to your best friend on the other side. How do you talk to your friends? And that's, I think one of the things that I hear, and I know you hear it too, is that when people meet us in person, we're the same person online that we are in person.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
When they meet us in person, we are the same people
we are
online
the same
as
people.
we are also in person.
That is it. In the beginning, I got a little weird about it because I actually am a little different when I meet clients. I'm not as free flowing with my words when I meet clients than I am here. And Ryan and I talked about that because I was kind of like, well, does that make me not authentic? Am I kind of like a fraud? And she's like, well, no, because it's the same thing. You talk to your children differently than you would talk to your friends.
Right.
You don't use the same words necessarily. You don't. So it's similar to that. It's this your same personality, but you're just sharing different sides with it. But I think that is such a skill, really, is to be able to turn on the camera and you're just talking to a friend. But one of the hacks that I do, and I tell people about it all the time, and they're like, that's weird, is I talk in front of a mirror.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if I'll take my phone calls, I'll go sit on my bed in front of the mirror or in the hallway. But don't you think that helps? Like,
yes,
it helps you see your facial expressions, you hear your words, you see your hands, and it's not foreign now when you turn the video on.
There are 2 more hacks to that. Can I add?
Yeah.
No,
I take it back. I don't want you to add. No.
We're running it anyway. This has been great.
It's 41 minutes in.
Lacey's authentic.
We get it.
So like, there's someone told me this like way back in the day, and I thought it was great. And they were like, what you want to do is walk around, and while you're walking around and you're doing tasks, you talk out loud about doing the task. So what I always sing, and so I'll be like, I am opening up a can of Celsius. My wife says I should stop, but I'm not gonna. And so I'll open it up like, and now we're driving the car. We're going to Courtney's house. It looks like Springs Hollow.
I know. She pulls in my neighborhood. She's like, you live in Stars Hollow.
You live in Stars Hollow.
Yeah.
It gets you used to just speaking out loud. So like your inner monologue that you hear consistently comes outside. So now you're getting used to saying the thing. Kind of like if I was to practice a play and I memorized all the lines but I never spoke them, the likelihood of me doing it as well is very low.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I never thought about that. Because I don't have a problem letting my inner dialogue come out.
Right. But so many people do because they're so convinced that like either it's wrong, or they've been taught that it's wrong, or they've been taught that they shouldn't be speaking very much, or they've been taught that it's like braggadocious to speak on themselves.
That's what I was taught.
Me too, but in real estate, it's like you have to, because everybody else is talking about how great they are, and if you don't step up to the plate, then like no one's gonna know. This is a bit of a braggy business.
It is.
You know?
I like to let other people talk about me.
Yeah.
And then I will share that. Like, that's why the award things, and yes, there are awards that you pay for. No, we don't do those.
I've never paid for an award.
They're out there.
Yeah.
I've never paid for an award either, but I have been presented with asking me if I want to pay for an award.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm good. I get the free ones.
Yeah.
I'm good. But those things, showing up to those events, is a way for the public to understand that you're not just saying you're great at something. People in your industry are saying you're great at something.
I
and
agree.
it gives that proof. So if you have an opportunity to do it, do it. You don't have to make it douchey. You don't have to like, enjoy it and have fun.
Yeah. Wait, may I talk about the second thing?
Yeah.
So whenever I'm first filming with someone who's never done camera work before, I'll sit them down, make sure that the lighting's good, and then I'll just start asking them questions. And it kind of loosens them up a little bit more, where I'll put my, like, this will be the camera. I ask them to look right here, and then that way it looks like they're looking at the camera, but they're not. They're talking to a human being. And then I start asking them questions about, like, how they grew up. Do they have any pets? What do they like about that? What's their favorite restaurant? And then we slowly start moving into stuff about work and about real estate and about the industry and about the market. And I think that helps people kind of like warm up and feel a little bit more comfortable than just, oh my gosh, what do I even talk about? Well, that's okay. I got you. I'm asking you questions.
So when you first started, how long have you been on TikTok?
Since the pandemic.
Same. Okay.
So what is that? 3 years? 2.5 years? I can't do math.
I don't remember.
I took half an Adderall and I studied the algorithm for like 3 days.
Did you? But like you didn't have an issue getting online, like you turning on the video, like you didn't have any.
No, but to be fair, like I was also a film and journalism major in college, so me being on camera is not the hardest thing on the planet.
I had a hard time when I started because I weighed so much more. Oh, it's been 5 years since the. My God, 5 years since the pandemic. But that was something I had to get over, and I still showed up. So I hated it, but my drive to have a connection during COVID was so much greater than my fear of what people would think of me.
Yeah.
Okay, what else do we want to talk about? Do you have a story? Do you want to, like, what do you guys want to talk about? We can open it up to that. We kind of unofficially went through everything out of order, which is really tracks.
Yeah.
Which really tracks how we are. We talked about show the process too, not the polish.
Yeah.
Like I have somebody helping me work on some funnel stuff, and I was recording videos and I kept messing it up because I was literally reading it.
Sure.
But
Feels
for this,
weird.
I wanted to, so then I just left in where I screwed up, and I was like, meh, you're fine. Like, you found me.
I think people like that, though. I think people like it whenever you're a little unscripted and it's just, oh, shoot, I messed up. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
And it's just keep going. You know what I mean? It
Because
doesn't matter.
People want to work with people that they find a connection with.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's the clothes you wear, the location you live, what you look like, how you sound. It could be where you go to church. It could be where you grocery shop, whatever it is. People are always looking for a connection, and people are also always scanning the back of your videos.
Yeah.
Looking at, like, how do they live?
Yep.
What kind of car are they in? And it's a lot of it's subconscious.
Yeah.
But as you're recording, thinking about that, giving people nuggets to connect with you by finding it subconsciously is so much better than you telling them.
Sure.
Like they'll connect with you more by allowing them to discover it, as opposed to you just shoving it down their throat.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And it's kind of like how you would want to curtail a negotiation, right? Where it's, let's get them to my point of view, but not necessarily tell them my point of view. How do I get the head to turn without going into the brain? I just want to operate the neck.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm. So we have some questions. So how about how to be consistent? Tara struggles with consistency. Which, Tara, you shouldn't. She's very good with her timeline.
Sure.
Time blocker. I am not. But mine is just a non-negotiable for me.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
you have not been as consistent with TikTok.
I have not, and it's because I didn't have the systems in place for it. So
what systems?
My real estate coach used to call it my lead faucet, where if I was talking on camera, it was on and I was getting a lot of leads, and if I was off camera, if I wasn't doing it, I pulled the faucet off completely.
Yeah.
And he was like, there are only so many realtors that I've ever met that are able to do that. You need to have the faucet running consistently. I was like, okay, how do I do that? and I ended up time blocking. It's usually on Tuesdays where I will time block for like an hour and a half, and I'll just pump out maybe 3 to 5 videos in that hour and a half. Then the next day, when I have some downtime, I'll go through and I'll edit a couple. The next day, I'll go through and I'll do the captions. The next day, I'll go through and I'll do the description. Because I'm someone that has to like break up my work. If I don't do that, then it takes me a very long time to do something that could have been done.
So why is it taking you so long to do captions and descriptions? Like, what are you doing?
Because I don't want to do it. So it's me being like, television's kind of funny right now.
So are you being like...
I could watch television for a little bit longer.
Right.
Like,
doing both at the same time?
No, usually not. I usually do the videos, I knock out the videos, and then I'll do the captions either later that day or the next day. But I always do the videos all in one run.
So what do you mean captions? Like the captions are automated?
Brucci, my last name doesn't exactly get spelled out very easily.
Yeah.
And what I've noticed is because I've only grown up in the South, my vowels blur together. So there's a lot of H's out of all the vowels. So I have to go through and make sure that the captions make sense. So you think it's worthwhile
to go through and make sure the captions make sense?
Yes,
because
totally.
I just am like YOLO.
Or like I'll talk about Selena, or I'm sorry, Selena. I'll talk about Selena and it'll show Selena.
Same.
And I'm like, but I don't, for my SEO stuff, I don't want Selena the singer to be what people are searching for and seeing my video. I want them to see Salina, Texas.
So, okay, for stuff like that I do, but I don't always go through and edit my captions. As you can see, we do stuff very differently.
Yeah, I do it every time. Or I'll do it based off of how people search. So if people are typing in Dallas TX and not Dallas TEXAS, then I'll say, hey, my name is Lacey Brucci. I'm a Dallas, Texas realtor. Dallas TX realtor, because that's how people search it online. And so that's how I want like the captions to look.
So since you've been online and because she likes to test stuff and like see what works and like go, again, not me. What did you change from when you first started that you were like, okay, I'm doing this, but when I did this, I really like hitting
a niche.
Yeah.
I was covering kind of everything for real estate, and it wasn't getting me a whole lot. And during the pandemic, I mean, everyone wanted to be a real estate investor because the interest rates were like 4.5% for them. So I started talking about real estate investing because it is my background. And all of a sudden I started getting a lot of views. And I was like, oh, if this is what people want to listen to, then like, cool, I'm down to talk about this. And so I would focus mainly on the investors, and I would do stuff with like show them the breakdown of the math so that way people get it. I'd talk to them about different types of insurance, different types of strategies for like whether or not you want an LLC or a trust, what those two protections look like. I'm not an attorney, but these are the things that I would say, and it just got more and more and more views and follows.
And were you getting direct buyers or are you getting agents?
No, you get a lot of agents. I get a lot of direct buyers.
Okay.
I think I've only had maybe 3 agents reach out to me.
Okay. Mine is like 60% agents now.
Mine's like 15.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's what you speak about versus what I speak about.
Yeah. But I feel like we get the same results.
Yeah.
We're still like, so yesterday I had a buyer consultation, and that was number 50 for the year. So since January, I've had 50 that have come from TikTok.
Totally.
Specifically. And when I think like I'll start watching stuff and then I'm like, oh, I should do that. Or, oh, we talk about YouTube all the time. Oh, we should go do YouTube. And I just can't get myself to do it. And I feel like it could be helpful, but at the same time, like I'm just not there yet. Maybe someday I will be, but I mean, I'm pretty happy with my 50 referrals from TikTok, and some of them have fallen off. I have noticed there's been some people that reach out to me that want my attention more than they want my help.
Yeah.
That's new. That's new this year that I've not had before. So I've become aware of that. So it's again, it's not necessarily follower count. It is really, are you connecting with people? Like I got my first lead, and I want to say, I think maybe I had 1,000 people, maybe less.
Yeah, same.
The first time I got,
I had about 1,500 people, and I got my first referral.
Yeah.
And they ended up buying 3 places from me.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
What questions do you have? So, Tara, you just time block it. You got to schedule it. Or you're like me. I just make it a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Like that really is it. It's TikTok and deodorant.
And I think too,
that's pretty much my non-negotiables every day.
And even then, sometimes I forget deodorant, but I never forget TikTok.
Because one is more lucrative than the other.
Right. One's really bringing me business.
Yeah, one's.
I'll sit there too and be like, man, my life would be so different if I hadn't found TikTok.
Yeah.
And if I hadn't started doing well on it.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
It is weird. I know, I think that too. I'll look at stuff and I'm like my buyers. Like,
yeah.
So out of the 9, 2 are not from TikTok.
Right.
So 7 TikTok buyers active right now. So would then I think I'm like, so would my business look like I had 2 buyers?
Right.
Ooh.
Yeah,
like,
that's terrifying.
Shoot. So yeah, it's. But then I don't know. I mean, I think we'd adapt and figures. When TikTok went away, we cried, but we were like, okay, we'll go to Instagram. Like, brace yourselves, bitches. We're coming for you.
Yeah.
We're coming for you, Instagram girlies. And then when TikTok went back, we were like,
oh thank God.
Oh God, my people are
we had
back.
we had like a sad dinner.
We
that
did
day.
have a sad dinner. We went and sat at the bar. We had a sad dinner, but I don't think TikTok videos. It's a different audience on Instagram for sure.
Yeah, and how like you present the video is different too.
Yeah, they really don't like my bad words on the
they don't
on the Instagram.
They don't.
They really don't like that.
They don't.
Tara gets all hers from Facebook, but she's fishing for them instead of attracting. So you need to change that. Yes. Don't if you're actively telling people what you do and like that kind of thing. But I play around with it. You do too. Sometimes, like at the end of my videos, I'll tell people my phone number's in the bio, something like that. But it's at the end, and sometimes it's usually in jest.
Yeah,
it's not a direct like if you're looking to buy or sell, that kind of thing. That doesn't connect. I think we, as consumers, will watch people do stuff, and we are repelled by it. But when it's our turn to produce the content, we do the same shit that's repelling us because we don't know any better.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you wouldn't watch it, if you wouldn't call somebody for doing that, don't do that to somebody else because it's just not going to connect. And I think too, if you do it too often, it's so salesy.
I agree.
That you don't really get the connection with people.
Yeah. The thing that people told me when I first got started is that they liked that I wasn't trying to like sell anything to them. Like I was never asking for them to call me.
Yeah.
I made it really easy where you can just click on a Calendly link and it takes you to a 15-minute schedule and you schedule in through there. And that was how I ended up like being able to work with these clients.
I think I don't sell stuff either. I'm not but I'm also like that when you work with me in person. I'm not salesy. I'm like I'm kind of the same. I'm like, here's what I like, here's what I don't like. If you like it,
it's up to you.
I'll support you.
Yeah, it's up to you, but these are the problems that you're probably going to have, and these are the good things that you're probably going to have.
Yep.
I always consider myself more of like an educator than a real estate agent, where it's just like, hey, I'm just here to tell you what's going on. I'm here to tell you how much it's probably going to cost, and I'm here to protect you.
Yeah.
After that, it's up to you to tell me to kick rocks if you don't care. It's up to you to tell me that you don't care that the AC is 15 years old or 25 years old. You don't mind paying for a new one.
And they do. And then when they buy it, they care.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they care.
Yeah.
It's weird.
You're like, dang it.
Yeah,
now we got to get a new AC. I'm like, oh, I know.
Yeah, I know.
I know you do.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that. What questions do you guys have? Because we're kind of now we're just spitballing, really. I don't think I'm going to do the podcast next week. Next Tuesday is my birthday.
Oh yeah! And, happy early birthday!
Thank you. And I was like, oh, I should do that and stay on schedule. And then I reminded myself, who? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's my life. It's cool. Like, I don't want to force myself to show up to do something.
Sure.
Because then when you do that, it's not very good.
Yeah.
And you don't get quality content like this being forced.
Sure, I get that. This is really quality.
This is when Lacey pulled up in front of my house, she could not get out of her car right away because she was eating a Lunchable.
I was on a phone with a client and eating a Lunchable.
And then I laughed and then told her I had just eaten a hot dog. because I don't have any groceries, and I ate a hot dog without the bun.
Yeah.
I like straight up just air fryered it.
What we call it again? A glizzy.
A glizzy?
You
Is that
just
what
had
it
the
is?
glizzy, yeah.
Is it? Oh yeah. I'm not from Dallas. I
Oh
don't know.
no, it's a Chicago thing. 'Cause
Oh,
it's
it
about
is.
the same size as a Glock. So,
Oh, is that
so
what
that's where the
well,
term glizzy comes from.
I don't
I
know
looked-
how big people's Glocks are. 'Cause
I looked it
was
up on the
not-
internet.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, the internet told me that.
Oh, she sent the money. See, I'm working too at the same time.
That's your phone.
That's my phone. So that's it. I mean, that's all we got. So
Yeah.
I don't know if did that help? Do you think,
I think
we
so.
gave good quality content?
No.
So I don't either.
Yeah.
But let's recap it. So
Okay.
things not to do. If you're still here, let's talk about things not to do. Kim's got a title class. Shoot, Kim, stepping on our toes at the last minute here. That's fine. So we're just going to recap. So don't mimic other people.
Yep.
Don't you can be inspired, but don't try to duplicate what other people are doing. Don't share content without opinion. So give your opinion anytime you share a piece of content. That's going to help you connect with people. Start taking phone calls in front of the mirror.
Yep.
Start recording yourself, just talking to yourself without any intention of posting it. And then go back and look at the difference between when you talk to yourself versus when you know people are watching. Do they kind of mesh? If they're really far off, then when you're filming, you're not being authentic.
Yep.
What else we got?
I would say make sure you talk to your camera like a friend.
Yeah.
And you always just want to make sure that you're practicing to your niche and you're being authentic, because authentic is connection, and connections get you calls, and calls get you deals.
That's right. And deals get you money,
Money,
to
money,
survive.
money.
That's right. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's it. We're done. Do we have anything else?
No.
I think that's it. That's it. Well, thank you guys for being here. And it was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. I had fun.
Authentically so.
I have to go to a listing appointment now.
Oh.
Want to. He wasn't very nice when he called me. And my instinct was kind of like,
Maybe don't go.
And then, yeah, he was the one I talked to you about
Yeah.
yesterday. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
We'll figure it out after the podcast.
He did ask me to send him the CMA.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I won't send the CMA ahead of time, because who says CMA, right? You
Right.
have to know.
Yeah, you're talking to an agent.
You got to know something is happening to
Yeah.
say CMA. And I said I would bring it when I showed up, and then he didn't respond at all.
Okay. Are you still meeting him?
Should I confirm?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll confirm.
Yeah,
I'll confirm. I think, because we're selling a house in his neighborhood, and we got under contract in like 12 hours. So I almost think he, like you said, had another agent, and I'm just there for something.
Advice or something like
don't know.
that. Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like that either. All right. That's all I got. All right. So no podcast. No podcast next week, because I am turning 48. We have 2 closings on my birthday, so happy birthday to me.
It's awesome.
And I think that's all I'm going to do.
Good.
It won't be. We both know it won't be. I'll spend my whole morning answering questions and doing stuff. And but I
no
love
podcast.
it. But no podcasts, because we'll come up.
You'll get it later.
We got something else to talk about. We'll just hop on. This is how we're going to do it. No pressure, no stress. Don't add things to your life that cause stress. All right. All right. Have a good day. Bye, guys. Any word of wisdom before we leave? I feel like we should wrap it up with a bow.
No.
Okay. No.